Dylan, you're more than welcome.
I'm good, thank you.
His
Uh-oh.
mama would not like us.
Hey.
Man, I've loved that stuff
Isn't
since
that
the
a
first taste.
sipping? That's a sipping whiskey. He doesn't know that, right?
I took
Okay.
3 sips.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't have known that either.
Three sips in one.
You've seen me with my energy drinks. I've probably drank a half gallon of sweet tea today.
Yeah, and that just brings up more on your. It talks about being a porn star because you swallow an entire energy drink with no breath.
Yeah.
He cracks when I hear it crack, and I turn around and he's throwing the can away. I'm like, where did it go?
They stop for a water break. Like we'll be out in the heat, and he'll be doing this, and I'm just like, whoop. But I can open my throat and pour a can of chicken noodle soup down my throat. But the problem is, if I stick my finger more than a quarter inch in my mouth, I'm gagging. Don't understand it. I can open my throat and pour beer, whiskey, wine, tea, water, anything down it. I clean my ears, I gag. But I can chug like the fox, who was the fastest beer drinker there ever was. And he played the piano and sung dirty songs. And he was on the Man Show. I didn't like the
Where
Man
did he
Show,
just go
but
to
I like
that?
the Fox.
I have no idea.
Okay.
He lost me at like
Okay,
piano
alright.
guy. Before that, though, I understood.
Yeah. That's like when he asked me if I wanted to come on and do the podcast. I was like, I'm good as long as you don't go off on like
A tangent.
anime and stuff because I ain't got a clue.
So speaking of not,
Yeah.
But see, Malachi's not here.
I'll be sitting here like Dylan. Then I'll be like, I won't have nothing to say. I'll
I'm
be
always
out.
like that. Though.
I will be out.
And see,
of
now
the
your wife
conversation.
knows the podcast too. And since you're on it, like you're going to be the first episode she listens to, probably.
Yeah. Hey, you'll get a new follower.
I told her, he's like, yeah, subscribe to me. He's like, then I can have like 70 something. Which everybody that has subscribed, thank you. The few that did unsubscribed, that's what we told you to do. Like, if you don't like us, you don't have to listen to us. But
And if you do like us, oh wait, no, I don't know why he looked up there.
we're on, see the one with the light?
I looked up.
That's
that,
the trash
I
can
looked-
cam.
No, yeah,
It's not at the trash.
I lost
can,
my
though.
train
You
of
need to
thought.
refocus it.
good job.
So Adam's been practicing like all week.
Yeah, and then I come and bring absolutely nothing
he
to
has
throw
no
at the
bottles
trash
whatsoever.
can.
He's been throwing bottles all afternoon. Like, doo-doo-doo. He was bouncing them off his freaking welding table and landing them in the trash can from 20 feet. But yet, he shows up without a bottle
You
to
want
throw.
to throw my slipper?
No.
He's not Mexican.
Yeah.
And there's not a kid running.
Yeah.
Which I have witnessed that in person. Any of y'all ever seen that in person? Okay. The stereotype about Mexican women and their sandals and being able to throw them like, anything.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I watched a Mexican woman that I knew their whole family, and we're out hanging out, right? One of the boys says something to her, and she starts yelling in Spanish. And that little bastard takes off running. And I mean, he's like Mario. He's gone. She does like this while holding a baby, flips the sandal backwards, catches it right here.
Yeah, I missed.
Oh, I thought you hit it.
But she doesn't like pick it up or anything like that. She flips it up in the air with a baby in the hand, catches the sandal right here, and hums that sucker sidearm, and pegs him in the back of the head from 30 feet. And I'm like, yeah, don't run from them.
I've seen this one videos of this one girl, and it's her and her husband, and he'll say something and piss her off, and she'll just flip her foot up and catch it like midair and nail him. I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's inherent. Like some people think this is racist, but I don't think it's racist. I think it's a gift, honestly. I've never met a black man that could not carry a tune. Not a single daggum one.
Well, I don't guess.
And I've challenged them in person in front of people because I was talking to one of my supervisors who happened to be a crotchety old Jew, and I was talking about that, and he was making fun of me for being a Scotch-Irish German, and I was making fun of him for being a Jew, and then, he brought up black people, and I'm like, well, I can't make fun of them because they can all freaking sing, and it's one thing that I wish I could do. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, every one of them can sing. I said, every daggum black man I've ever met, never met one that couldn't carry a tune. Maybe not the greatest, but stay in a key. And he's like, bull crap. And I'm like, all right, who do you want me to ask? And he's like, I want you to ask this guy, which was the manager. I'm like, okay, let's go to the office. So we go to the office, and he's like, hey, Henry's got something to ask you. And I'm like, sing me a song. He goes, why am I going to sing you a song? I'm like, sing me a song. And he's like, why? And I'm like, dude, because I've never met a black man that couldn't carry a tune. Not a single daggone one. And he's like, oh, that's kind of racist. I said, why? I'm telling you that I've never met a black man that couldn't sing. That's a talent that I just desperately wish I had. And he was like, huh. There ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And I mean, raise the hair on your freaking arms. Sings the entire daggum song a cappella. Everyone in the offices has now stopped and hanging out the doors and looking at. People that are walking by have stopped and are looking in the glass. And then I turned to Steve, see? He goes, point taken. And Ray was like, thank you. And we walked off.
Yeah.
But at first, everybody's like, that's an insult. No, it's not.
See, but that's what gets me is like everything automatically goes that's racist.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not racist. It's pointing out a fact.
Why do you think white men invented the airplane?
I have no idea. They wanted to get away.
Because we couldn't jump, so we had to figure out a way to send somebody in the air. Now, what are you trying to say? You can tell us. We will listen to you.
I was just saying you're 12 minutes over an hour, but now you're 13.
Okay.
Oh, we're 13. All right.
Yeah. But this episode, actually, there will be people that watch this episode and go, dang, we like Malachi. And he won't care because the comments will still say his name.
Yeah. See, he still gets all the credit on the credits at the end.
I love the fact that, we still call him Malachi the whole podcast.
Yeah, don't we
Yeah.
call him?
And I'm
what,
still
Yeah.
waiting on
Zeke?
somebody.
What name were we on last?
Zeke
Oh, okay.
I'm still
From,
waiting on somebody to catch the sign eventually.
Yeah.
from an anime.
Yeah. Did you catch the sign?
I saw him hang it up.
No. Did you read the sign?
Yeah, always love and 8. What?
It says always and forever.
That's an 8.
No, it's not.
That's the and symbol.
That's
It's
a
wedding
and.
rings.
Yeah, it's always and forever.
For
I
ew.
can't write an 8.
You see the missing letter?
Yes, I did.
But do you know?
Okay. All right.
You know why it's missing?
I don't know why it's missing either. So
'Cause
I
for-
never found it.
It's because forever never ends.
Fair enough.
If you want to take a pile of crap and twist it into something cool, I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
I can make that sign cool by adding the sweet saying that says forever never ends. Like when
Yeah.
your girl looks at you for the first time and says, I love you. And you say,
What girl?
good.
And the true story is they put a redneck in charge of a computer, and I lost the R and have no idea where it's at.
The
Still
great-
haven't found that R.
The best part is 300 people looked at that and never noticed it.
No, 300 was probably more than that. It was. We were like,
Or they were just too polite to say anything.
that could have been it. Yeah, that could have been.
Or
it.
they were smart enough to go, forever never ends.
Yeah, they probably took one look at me and go, yeah, he probably spelled it that way.
I misspelled spelling on a spelling test. That's a true story. I'm sorry.
Right after misspelling my name.
Hey, my mother had a sign above the sink one day when I walked in. I'm 12. I had to be younger than 13 because she died like 2 weeks after I turned 13. So I'm 11, 12.
You were probably younger than that.
And it says cook, iron, dust, wash. I'm like, Mama, they misspelled wash. She said, because it said I hate 4-letter words. And then it had, I'm like, they misspelled wash. That's not a 4-letter word. She says, son, it's pronounced wash. And I'm like, you lying to me. And yeah, I was freaked out. Like in my mind, it was wash.
Yeah.
That's like first time I actually seen the spelling of Bedford. Like, that's misspelled. It's Bedford, which is an E and 2 R's.
Yeah.
If you got the right old redneck saying it. But like a lot of stuff, language is so weird.
Oh yeah. Well, I had a customer the other day went to work on a grill for him, and I talked to him on the phone a couple of times, and I could tell he had an accent. I couldn't place it. I mean, and it was a strong accent, and I couldn't place it. I finally got there, and I talked to him in person, and I'm like, I know that accent, and I was like, okay, is it Australian? He goes, no, South African. And I was like, I knew it, but it was just, I guess, because you don't meet a lot of people from South Africa.
Yeah, they have a very unique cadence to their speech.
Yeah.
Like, it's not actually like an accent. It's like their whole rhythm is different.
Yeah, I heard it, and
And I love the way they talk.
Oh yeah.
That's like I love Aussies. I love Aussies because, honestly, they're the one culture in the world that I absolutely agree with a lot of their insanity. Like, they have a thing that's walkabout. And it's just normal for a person to be like, I need to go on walkabout, and then just walk away and take off from life for a few years and come back.
Well, I mean, the Australian, continent started as a prison camp, so
Well, it started as a bunch of dudes eating each other's tribes.
Yeah, they're
And but the whole continent is good, but like their culture, foul language, all the weird rules that people have put on what you can and cannot say, they don't have a bit of that.
Oh, hey,
They don't get offended. Cunt is a compliment.
British. One of Jennifer's best friends, they live in Britain, and they throw out cunt like it's a everyday word to say hi.
Yeah, it's, oh, cunt, come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the?
But then other words they freak out about. So, like, it's always confused me that, like, a lot of people that I know, like, they attack foul language and different stuff like that, and they have a hard time communicating with people outside of this area, this type of society. Because, like, you get somebody from the Bronx, they're going to throw out vernacular that makes most people around here blush, but to them, it's a completely different world, like nudity.
You get that New Jersey accent or something going, you're like, huh?
Like, I grew up around so much nudity that, like, when I was at the parties and stuff as a youngin', and, like, I would see these girls doing stuff, and the other guys be, like, just mesmerized and do whatever they're told.
Yeah.
I'm like, go on. I've seen better. Like, but then what does society do? Especially, like, conservative society, like, this is one of the extremist areas of conservative society. Like, the liberal has a whole lot of extremist areas, and I don't think extremism in any direction is good. You should have a moderate center. So, like, the conservatives will raise their children like sex is taboo, you shouldn't look at a girl, blah, 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 and they do all this stuff, and they pound into them all this crazy ideas about the body and sexuality, instead of teaching them that, yes, you are supposed to be attracted to the opposite sex.
Yeah.
You are one day going to have a wife, and your goal is to actually take care of her in the bedroom and everywhere else. Let's start talking to, like, the church has just as much a divorce rate as secular society, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The church has the same problem a lot of secular society does. People...
You're going to make me have to interject here. Yes, you are correct, but there is a time and place for that. Yes, sex is beautiful, sex is wonderful, but if you don't do it in those confines, if you don't have marriage, then you're left with shame and guilt and hurt.
No, I'm completely agreeing with you.
All of those things, but you didn't mention teaching that part to your kids, and that's important. I'm
not done
interjecting.
Yet.
I love you.
I love you too. You said what I was fixing to say next, but calm down, woman. But what I'm saying is that's the problem. Instead of teaching them about it and teaching them how to understand it, there's a lot of other cultures that kids grow up drinking wine and beer at the dinner table.
Yeah.
And you don't see a really high alcoholism rate in a lot of those cultures because alcohol is taught to be used the way it's supposed to be used instead of the way, I taught kids to drink, which was, hey, come try to keep up with me. And that's not good. But it's the whole Disney principle. Don't talk about it, conceal it. It's nothing we need to actually think about. Like, it's just hide your weirdness. No. Figure out how to actually cope with your weirdness. Figure out how to live.
Going about things totally different ways. I mean, that's like me and you have talked multiple times about, you had kids really early.
Mm-hmm.
But now me and my wife got together, and it was, 5-6 years before we even contemplated having kids.
Yeah.
Because there's always that two thinkings of it, have your fun early and have kids, or have kids and have your fun later.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, Not that you're not gonna have fun when you have kids and stuff, but
Kids can be fun.
that's it. I mean, I'm not saying not to have fun when you have kids, but you
It's
know,
a different lifestyle.
You're
It is for
together.
sure.
Yeah, you're together time. You know, there's always that two different thinkings. You know, you're either gonna have your together time before or after. Your soul together time.
Yeah, the one that's just you two.
But that's you know, like Dylan, he's single. But I meet people all the time, and they're like, "Oh, well, I need to meet somebody." I'm like, "Why? Why do you have to?" And my wife will tell you the same thing. I was not looking for a relationship when I found her. In no way, because I had my work, I had my cars. That was it.
You had
know,
your Chinese lady that knew
I
what
had-
you wanted to eat.
I had my Chinese lady that I called, and as soon as she recognized my number, she started cooking my food and said, "Be ready in 10 minutes." And that's all I needed.
And your dog that drank beer with you.
Yeah, and the dog that drank beer and ramen noodles. Yeah,
Okay.
I had an alcoholic dog. Yeah, the dog would sit and let me, you know, because I was never the go out to a bar. I can't stand bars. That's like a breeding ground for violence or something. I just don't do bars. And so I just sit at
Me
home with the
neither.
dog. I'm good. But, you know, I tell people, they're all the time like, "Oh, well, I need to find somebody." Why? I'm like, do you know what you're doing in life? Because what you're doing right now may not be what you're doing later. And that may not click with who you find.
Yeah. And see that, but then there's people like me. I knew my wife. I knew I was going to have one. I knew I was going to have a family.
Yeah.
We have the cheat code.
Oh, shut up. But like Dylan, for you wanting eventually to have a wife and a family.
No,
Yeah, you do. You say that.
I'm gonna die alone.
Hey, I said
with
that
the
too.
quarter thing mabobber. I
Yeah.
can't remember the name.
Oh,
of
he's
it.
I
going
said
on
that
full
too.
on the jerk with us.
Yeah, I said that too. And I'm 20 years in and 3 kids. So, you
Mhm.
know,
I had a guy that I taught in youth for many years, and because he was always like, I don't need girl, blah blah blah, all this, and I'm like, dude, one day you're gonna look over, and I said you're gonna see one.
you're going to find that one.
I said your jaw's gonna hit the floor, and you're gonna know, like, dang, that's it.
You know, I'm not an overly religious person. But I thank the Lord every day that I found the one. The one that I can spend, you know, I can see myself with the rest of my life. Sitting on a front porch, gray, and me and her bickering back and forth at each other, and that's just what we enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
But
I mean, not everybody gets that chance.
your two personalities match. Y'all complement each other. You're the opposite of me and her. Like, I'm the one that engages people and talks to people
Yeah.
and has the conversations.
And she's the quiet one.
She's the one that would just rather sit
Yeah.
at home and crochet and do her thing and have her create an outlet and leave everybody else alone.
That's it.
But without her teaching me a lot of things and me teaching her a lot of things about how people are, and like, we are complete opposites, but that's why we work and fit together.
That's why you mesh.
And there's couples that are the same that fit together, but that's the problem. Like, a lot of people look at someone else's relationship. Like, I've known some guys that absolutely head over heels in love with their women, and their women in love with them, but I would not put up with their wife.
Yeah.
And if I looked at their relationship and thought my relationship's going to be like that because that's my example, I wouldn't want to get married.
Yeah.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, you look at other relationships and you think, well, I could, I would love to have a wife like that or whatever. And, when you're single, and people don't realize that that would work for you, but that other guy that's got the wife you wouldn't put up
Yeah.
with, that's what
But
he.
you complement each other, and I think
Right.
that's a lot of it. And, because, like you said, y'all are opposite of us. Jennifer's the outgoing, talk to anybody. A month down here, she knew a ton of people, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I've already met them." And I'm like,
Dude, my family's
know.
been here since the dadgum Revolutionary War. Both sides, okay? She knows more people than I do
"Yeah."
in this town.
But now, and I give her all the credit for, of course, now granted, it's taken her 20 years because I'm stubborn and hard-headed, but it's taken her 20 years of the fact that I will talk to people. I'm not going to walk up to a giant crowd of people and talk to them, but I will talk to people.
Yeah.
And that's all her, because if it was up to me, I'd be sitting at the house, I'd be out in my shop locked in there with my music up, ignoring the world.
Like, I've watched her. She's kind of done the same way in the past 4 or 5 years. Is, like when we're at jiu-jitsu, like I don't have to have conversations for her. She talks to all the moms and some of the dads that sit there, and like she has conversations, and I can hear her just chatting, and she's learnt by me. So when she talks to people, she garners information from them and connects to them.
Yeah.
And like I love watching her in that's completely unique to her, because she does it in her own way, but watching her grow and learn. And I think a lot of husbands fail at that. Is you're supposed to be growing as a man, but your job as a husband is also to help your wife become the woman that she's capable of being. And a lot of guys are scared to tell their woman she can't do something, or to tell her something hard, because they think their job is to keep her happy.
Yeah.
When your job is to make your wife be fulfilled and at peace.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad when you tell me stuff I don't want to hear.
But would our
that's-
relationship be the same, and would you be who you were if I didn't?
Absolutely not.
And I think that's everything. In any marriage, you make mistakes, and we've all made mistakes. In telling you don't need to do that, but and then in the end, you look back in retrospect, and you're like, yeah, she probably should have done that, because it would have.
There's cases where you're
I
wrong,
think
and
she
there's
would have
cases where you're
grown.
right.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of instances of when people have kids, specifically, in my opinion, is society has taught a lot of people through movies and everything else that all of your focus as a married couple is just supposed to be on your kids.
Yeah.
When I think that's absolutely backwards. Your first focus, your first relationship, and the people you are supposed to actually make sure are okay are you and your spouse.
Yeah. And I had to learn that, really, because in a long-term relationship, because I don't know anybody that has been together, except for y'all, that has been together as long as we have. And you look back and you're like, okay, I probably could have done some stuff different. But now that I'm getting older, I'm thinking, okay, look, I need to really work on us. Yeah, we still have the kids to take care of, but I need to work on us.
And that's what you watch a lot of divorce right after the kids get grown.
Yeah.
Or when the kids get teenage years and they no longer really need you as much and start pushing the parents away a lot of times. You watch a lot of divorce and a lot of, even if it's not divorce, it's just marriages turn bitter and become more of roommates.
Yeah.
Because for 18 years, their sole focus has been on these kids. And a lot of times you'll watch the kids have trouble, and you'll pass on the trauma that was passed on to you, and you'll screw your kids up just as bad as your parents screwed you up, because your focus is on the wrong thing first. If me and Tasia are okay,
everything's okay.
Chances are the kids, when we deal with them,
Yeah.
we're going to be a lot nicer. We're going to be a lot more level-headed. We're actually going to be a team. We're going to think together. We're going to raise children to be adults. But if me and her are sitting here bickering like 5-year-olds, that passes down.
Oh, yeah.
Attitude reflects leadership.
But see, that comes back at finding somebody that compliments you. Because you can have those back and forths, and it doesn't long-term affect things. And somebody Dylan's age, you tell them, look, don't rush into it. Because eventually there is that one person out there.
Don't rush into it, but also don't be scared to rush into it.
Well, that's it.
It's you got to know for you.
You're going to have to know. And me and Jennifer communicated back and forth for a year and a half, 2 years. But I was always working.
That's when you was at the smelter most
yeah,
time.
I was working 12-hour swing shifts, and I would pull doubles, like, eating M&Ms. I didn't care. As long as I got a couple hours of sleep here and there, I'm good. But then, when we started seriously talking and stuff like that, then it was more like, okay, I knew.
Yep.
And I've talk to other people. One friend of ours, he's not much older than Dylan, and I've told him before, look, you may not find them today, you may not find them tomorrow, but they're out there.
And chances are, if you're so busy looking for the perfect one,
You're gonna miss them.
a lot of times you're overlooking the perfect one.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like I've known people that met people the first time, and just absolutely was like, that's it. First date, married a couple weeks later, and they lasted for years. I know people that dated for 15 years and got married, lasted for years, and then vice versa on both ends.
Yeah.
And so, like, a lot of it, too, I think your idea of marriage is different in society now. Like, I've heard couples that were going to get married and were like, well, if it doesn't work out, we'll just get a divorce.
Yeah.
If that's your mentality, stay dating.
No, you have to go into it with
As-
the mentality of there is no option.
Mm-hmm. You're going to wake up to me
We have to make
every
this work.
day for the rest of your life, whether you
And
freaking like it or
That's
not.
like a running joke with us. She'll be like, "Oh, I got to wake up next to this." I said, "Yeah, well, you got to wake up next to this." So,
Yeah.
hey, deal with it.
That's it. We were about 9 months married, probably. And she was mad at me. Okay. And she's like, you need to go sleep on the couch. I said, no. She's like, well, I'm mad and I'm not going to sleep with you. I said, well, if you want to sleep on the couch, you can. She's like, the couch is uncomfortable. I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, if you want to try to force me in there, I'm 355 pounds, woman. Give it a
Good
try.
luck. Yeah, good luck.
But then vice versa, she did me the same way. Is when I first really hurt my spine, I was 17, and I had been up since 5 o'clock trying to put my boots on. It's now 8:30. I have not been able to get to my feet to even slip my boots on my feet. And like, I'm not going to call my grandfather and tell him I can't make it to work. I got kids to feed. He knows this. I was raised to work. I'm not going to not be there.
Yeah.
I go in there and I kick the side of the bed because we never had a mattress, I'm actually bed frame. We broke them all. I'm 350 pounds. Me just laying and want to break one, much less being
the
young and
adjustable
married.
one hasn't broken yet.
Yeah, but it's rated to move 850 pounds per motor.
Awesome.
But so I kick the side of the bed and she rolls over and she says, what? And I said, I need you to put my boots on. She says, why haven't you got your boots on? I said, I can't reach my toes. Like, I can't bend over. My back's hurt. And she's like, well, looks like if you can't put your boots on, you can't go to work. And I was mad. But at the same time, looking back, it's like she had a point. She knew what I needed,
That's
even
it.
though it's not what I wanted to hear.
That's it. I've gotten mad before. Jennifer was like, "You just need to take the day off," and because I'm hurting, I'm old. I've had motorcycle accidents and wrecked the whole left side of my body, and stuff don't work. But I'm still gonna get up and go because I only know one option.
Yep.
I was raised by a bunch of men that it didn't matter what was hurting. You were getting up and going to work. Pop some aspirin, some ibuprofen, and get your butt to work.
Get to
And that
work.
was
You'll
it.
feel better when you
That's
get to
it.
work.
That was it. And you had that option. But now there's been times she tell me, look, hey, just need to take the day off. You don't feel good? Take the day off. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, but tomorrow it's going to suck. And even now when you own your own business, you're like,
It's even worse.
oh, crap. If I take the day off, I'm going to spend the next 3 days trying to make up for this.
Or I'm going to spend this whole day staring at the work going, I should be doing that work.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I've struggled with that a lot. Like, we've talked about me struggling with depression just because not being able to physically do what I used to do. But, like, her providing 90% of our income and paying my bills instead of vice versa pisses me off.
Oh, yeah. It definitely.
I hate it. But at the same time, like, when I go do something and I'm hurt, I hurt so bad I can't think straight.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to come home and lay down. And then I'll be mad at myself for not being able to work. And she'll be like, darling, the entire reason I went to work was so that when you had days to where your body wouldn't let you do anything, you could rest. Do not feel bad for resting. Shut up. Take a nap.
Yeah.
But I still, like, I hate it the whole time. But it's like she's willing to tell me, hey, you need to just quit your bull crap and go rest because that's what I do for you.
Oh, yeah.
Still pisses me off sometimes.
But that's like Jennifer, sometimes she has trouble sleeping at night and stuff. And because she's a godsend taking care of the kids. I mean, I work a lot. And, 'cause we have a child that's autistic, and she's always maneuvering him around. Going to therapy here, going to therapy there. She'll come back some days and she's just like, I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap. Okay, go ahead. Have fun.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't care. You make sure he needs to be where he needs to be to get the therapy to make him a better person later on. I'm good with that.
Yeah. And that's I was never one of the guys that thought my wife didn't work because she didn't work.
Yeah.
She took care of 5 children that were half me. She took care of 5 completely feral, tenacious, daggum children, and done a darn good job. You've met every one of my children before. Like, I get compliments on my children all the time. She did 90% of that.
Oh, yeah.
I provided the money and allowed her to do her thing, counseled her on very few things that, she was doing different than I thought should have been done. And she was, even as a 16, 17-year-old girl, listened to her husband and did them, and they turned out great.
I was a vegetarian when we had all of our kids, actually. I'm not anymore, but anyways, when Angel
Yay,
was
meat eater.
first at the age where she was gonna start eating food, Andrew was like, well, she's gonna eat meat, and I was like, I don't know about that, and this is something we should probably discuss, though. And he was like, well, she needs the protein to grow, and so she's gonna eat meat. And I was like, okay, I'm okay with that, as long as if at some point she decides that she doesn't want to eat meat, you'll be okay with that. And that was our agreement. But the funny thing is, Angel is a crazy meat lover. She
Oh,
would
dude,
never consider
hey,
vegetarianism.
She
but
was
but our other children down the line, a couple of them have been vegetarians for a little while here and there. None of them are right now, but he was always okay with that.
yeah. I mean, it's their
my-
choice at that point.
My oldest, he likes vegetables and stuff like that. The other two, don't put meat in front of them. You're going to come back with nubs. It's not going to work out.
See,
I
Angel,
mean, my youngest, because he is autistic, you have trouble getting him to try new things. But if it's on daddy's plate, it's safe. And it's his. So you might as well. I'll go in and I'll cook me some food. Now, I have a different diet because, the doctor told me, lay off the sugar. And probably something for you to learn real soon.
yeah, just do that now.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and do it now, and then you won't have to worry about the diabetes.
My diet's a little different. I don't eat breads and pastas and sugars or anything like that. My dinner consists of a pound of hamburger meat put into 2 patties and cooked.
Mhm.
And I'll go sit down
That's
in
what
the
I had
chair.
last night.
Yeah, and that's what I had last night too. But I'll go sit down in the chair, and that's what I'll eat. But if it's on my plate, it's safe. He'll come over there and just go hog wild. I mean, he'll grab a piece, go in the next room, come back, grab a piece. I'm like, why don't you just save some time and sit down here?
Yeah, just sit down and finish it, and we'll make another. Come on.
But the middle child and the youngest, complete and utter meat eaters. I mean, you go to the restaurant or something, they're getting meat. Some kind of meat. It may be chicken, may be beef, but it's going to be some kind of meat.
And that's basically with her. It's like when they were young, I'm like, I'm not going to deny them protein.
Yeah.
When they get old enough to make their own decisions, that's fine. We've got children that don't like meat, they don't like the taste of certain meats. You don't have to eat something you don't like.
It's more texture.
Yeah, but the oldest one at 6 months old, I had a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit I'd made. Big old friggin' whomping good biscuit. And I'm at my grandmother's house because we lived there at the time. And she's doing this.
She was fighting for that
like,
biscuit.
I
She
didn't-
was more than she was lunging. She was.
I didn't spend my entire childhood raising children, so I didn't know they weren't supposed to eat stuff like that when they didn't have teeth.
Yeah.
Well, I did, but we were both right there, and it was
But-
fine.
So I, went to give her a bite, and she just took a big old and just gnawed that sucker and then swallowed it and was for more. And my grandmother come in and she's like, "What you? She can't eat that." I'm like, "Well, she's freaking doing it." Like,
My oldest, the first time he started really eating, we were at Red Lobster, and we were there with my dad, and of course they got Cheddar Bay biscuits. We're sitting there at the table, and my dad's sitting there eating one, and my son's grabbing for it, and he gives him one, or a piece off of it. Well, then it's another piece, and then it's another piece. Then this kid sit here and ate like 10 of these Cheddar Bay biscuits, and he's like 8 months old.
he knows what he likes.
And
Give me
it
the
was,
freaking biscuits.
Yeah, it was huge. I'm like, and my dad spent the entire meal feeding him Cheddar Bay biscuits.
They're good biscuits.
Oh,
They
they are.
always we had the doctors tell us that like our children needed to eat more, and this like with our oldest one first, it's like, you know, she's so skinny and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, do you you don't understand, like, we can't feed her anymore. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
And like I told the doctor, because I remember it pretty vividly, because I'm like, she ate 3 pieces of pizza, a sandwich, a bag of chips, and was over there eyeballing my sandwich last night. I had to tell her, no, you need to go have Mama fix you something else. This is my freaking food.
That's it.
And the doctor's like, and then after 2 or 3 children, they just understood our children were thin.
Yeah.
But for a while, like, we thought we was bad parents, weren't feeding them enough. But it's like, I can't. You say they eat more when they're teenagers. Like, if that happens, I'll be broke.
Yeah. You've seen Jasmine.
Yeah.
She eats all the time.
Mm-hmm. Nonstop. She
Remy-
moves all the time, too,
That's
though.
it. No, yeah, that's my wild child. I am not shocked because she takes after me. Climbing trees and everything. I walk out of the shop and she's 30 foot up in the tree saying, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like,
You were that feral?
"Fine." Yeah, I was. We had 80-foot pine trees in our yard, and I climbed to the top of them. I went up there one year and said, "I'm getting us a Christmas tree," and cut the top of it out and let it hit the ground.
Yeah. Okay. That explains a lot.
Yeah, but now she eats constantly. The other day, me and Jennifer were laughing about it because Remy, because he is autistic, he has his days where, you know, he just kind of wants something to drink, something to eat every once in a while. And then he'll have these days where you're not going to put enough food in front of him.
Yep.
I mean, it's half a bag of chicken nuggets, bread, crackers. Because of the autism, the diet's a little limited because, again, like she said earlier, it was texture. His thing is texture. And some things you could set a birthday cake. Yesterday was his birthday. You could set a birthday cake in him from here to the next birthday, and he ain't touching it. He'll sit there and look at it. Now, you set a box of Nilla wafers in there, you must get your hand out the way.
Yeah, you got a problem now. Or his Cheetos. He still like his
Oh,
Cheetos?
God, he loves Cheeto Puffs. You can get those king-size bags, and for the next 2 days, he's carrying around a bag of Cheetos.
God, I love watching him with his Cheetos. He cracks me up. But that's the thing. I think more people should raise their children eating like you're raising Remy.
Yeah.
Is because that's the way I eat mostly now. I have days to where I need 2 to 3 meals. But for the most part, I'm 1-2 meals a day. I eat when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I do not eat when I am forced to schedule to eat.
Yeah.
And like, you're taught to eat 3 times a day. So by the time you're old enough to make your own decisions, you're taught that you're supposed to have that much food.
Yeah.
We're really not.
But the problem
we're a lot
is-
like more mammals. We should eat when we're hungry.
The problem is the food now that you're eating 3 times a day, and
You're not getting enough
Yeah,
substance.
by
Your
the time-
nutrients.
You're not getting enough
aren't there.
protein.
oh no. By
and
the time
the main thing's protein. Most people
by the
do not
time
get
you're
enough protein.
17, 18 years old, you're overweight because of the crappy food. And now I'm 43 years old, and it's taken me this many years. Well, I was 41 when my doctor slapped my hand and told me to stop. But, you know, I've learned now because, you know, God love my wife. She got me onto the intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Which it kind of works still the way I am anyway, because I can't eat when I'm hot. And
you're out in the welding shop all day. So
for what I do, I'm hot from 6:30 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. So, you know, that's kind of the way it works. But she got me onto that, and, you know, I lost 35 pounds. But I cut out all the crap. the potatoes, the bread. I would love to sit down with like we were talking about sourdough.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much I would kill a fat kid over a giant sourdough loaf and some honey. But I know I don't need it.
We have the price of a
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Or
Only
one-
if it's
one
a
of my-
fat kid, though.
or
If
one
it's
of my
skinny, it ain't worth it.
One of my coworkers says it makes you want to kick a fat kid at Kmart.
Yeah, yeah. But I know I don't need it. And I know,
You know what you felt like before versus what you feel
That's
like
it.
now.
like now, I go to bed at the same time every night because I know I got to get up in the morning. But used to, I haven't had a cold drink or a Coke or, Pepsi, whatever you want to call it. I haven't had one of those in 2 years. I drink water. That's it.
And a lot of water.
A lot, yeah. A lot.
He doesn't drink it as fast as I do, but he takes little sips all
No,
day.
I don't swallow the whole bottle whole like he does, but I drink a lot of water.
Hydration is about efficiency.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because they say your numbers and stuff. Like I'm supposed to do like 98 ounces, and I'm like, well, shoot, I hit 98 ounces by 9 a.m. So what am I supposed to do the rest of the day?
Keep drinking.
Yeah,
I am a
but-
firm believer that the obesity problem is mainly from drinks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the more like my doctor told me about that, and I started researching it and stuff, and I started looking at the Cokes and the energy drinks and all that, and I'm like, no, that's probably the reason why I'm this way then.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because now, like, Jennifer had me, excuse me, Jennifer had me try a drink the other day. She got some weird drink, because they always come out with new drinks. She's like, try this. And I take a drink of it, and I'm like, that's nasty. I'm like, I cannot get past the sugar and the syrupy taste to
Mhm.
actually know what it tastes like.
Now, see, I would like to get to that point because I've lost 120 pounds. And I could lose that last 30 real fast if I drop these things
I probably, yeah.
and just start drinking water. But, like, I friggin' love them.
Now, I still have to have my coffee.
I was gonna ask you about that because, like, I pretty much just drink water and coffee. But
Yeah.
you coffee in the morning.
I still
Yeah.
do coffee in the morning, and they call it dirty fasting, because you're actually having a coffee with it. Now, if you drink like straight black coffee, it's okay. But of course, I need some creamer in there, and
He's a
actually
white
put
girl.
some. I actually put some. Yeah, I am. I like my creamer, but
But
I
he's a
put
cheap white girl. He
Yeah,
likes that cheap
I-
creamer.
I
Yeah,
respect that.
see, but I like the cheap coffee mate powder.
Yeah, he likes the
some-
powder
oh,
from the
I need a
highway
little-
diner.
I need a little sprinkle of hazelnut in there.
I like the coffee mate powder, but I can't bring myself to drink it unless I'm at work and I don't have an alternative.
Oh yeah.
Because,
All my children are white girls.
honestly, it's
Malachi,
the-
like, he's French vanilla all the way.
like, my first memories of coffee are at a funeral for some family member, and
I love my
them
Oh,
having a big pot
the-
of coffee
yeah, and the
brewed
little
and
round-
the coffee make creamers
Yeah,
there,
yep.
and just dunking it
Or even
full
the-
and turning it almost white.
Yeah, the even cheaper version, the little round cylinders of creamer that like
Yeah.
had no name on it except who distributed it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But that's what I grew up with, so I was like, that's okay, I'm good. But
You must have spoiled our children with their coffee choices then.
I know they got all the bougie brands now, and I'm like, I just need some coffee, mate.
Malachi drinks a shot of coffee with his French vanilla.
Yeah, yeah.
Eh,
But see, like the coffee is the only thing I have sugar in. Because I've tried it, like cutting out the sugar in the coffee, and as far as me, I can drink it, but it's just not the same.
Now, see, if I drink coffee, which I rarely do, I prefer black. I like the bitterness.
Yeah,
He also loves the bougie creamers, though.
Oh, you can load me up on the bougie creamers, but like if I'm craving coffee, I'm usually craving black coffee. I drink y'all's coffees when y'all like, I can't finish this coffee.
yeah, I can't do black coffee. I just can't. But now I like.
Have you ever had a French press done?
No, I've never
Oh,
done that.
dude.
It takes the bitterness out.
Oh,
I can
does it?
drink black coffee if it's done in a French press,
Really?
but
I've
like
never tried that.
drip coffee, it's
Now, see,
bitter
I
to
spent-
me
I
if I
spent
drink it black.
years delivering to Starbucks. I was actually taking the cases in the side, and
So you
They
got
w-
full on spoiled.
oh yeah, they would make me coffee whatever I wanted. It didn't matter. And actually, I had one of the managers one time. He was like, because I was dragging that day. It was like middle of December. I was not feeling good. It's snowy outside, and I'm driving an 18-wheeler. You know, my stress level is 3,000 at that point.
Yeah, and
And he
energy
goes-
level is too.
Yeah, and he's like, "Man, you look like you need to pick me up." I'm like, "Yeah," and now I like their frappuccinos, and he's like, "I'll make you one," and I'm sitting there like, "I don't like how you just said that." He goes, "Okay, I'll get you." He brought me this frappuccino, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, "You know what? I've had a lot of these because you know at that point every store would give me what I wanted. It didn't matter as long as I
Yeah.
got them boxes in there quick."
You're bringing them their stuff. We'll hook you up.
Yeah. And he brought me this drink, and it's like extra dark. And I'm like, the manager's name was Nate. And I'm like, "What'd you put in this?" He goes, "Don't worry about it. Just drink it." I'm like, "Thanks, Mr. Crack Dealer."
Yeah, this is meth. I tried meth one time. Someone casually offered it to me.
He's like, "Don't worry about it. Just try it." So I started drinking it, and I was drinking it like, you know, how I drink a regular Frappuccino. You know, by the time I get to my next stop, I'm 3/4 of the way through it. And granted, yes, I'm 3/4 of the way through it with my clutch foot sitting there bouncing up and down, my hand doing this, and I'm like, "What the crap?"
Mhm.
And I went back to him, and I'm like, "Dude, what'd you put in there?" He said, "Oh, I put 4 shots of espresso in it."
That's like 4 energy drinks.
I'm like, "Dude, next time you do that, let's try 2, okay?"
No, go. You got to
I
go to
was-
the moon to see how to fly in the
I
stratosphere.
was trying to write on my paperwork, and I was doing this. But I've never, the whole time I went there, I always saw him doing that French press thing or the pour over, but I never tried it. I mean,
you
when I
weren't.
walk
You
in
weren't
the-
adventurous.
no, when I walk in the kitchen in the morning, because I'm, you know, since I started this diet and everything and cleaned my system out, and I drink nothing but water, I can wake up like that. Like 4:15, 4:30 in the morning, I'm up. And when I'm up, I'm up. So I'll walk in there and I'll just make me a cup with a K cup and go on. So it's not one of those things where I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes standing here making me a cup of coffee or something. But I've never tried. I'm going to have to try that now.
That's that. My buddy used to French press a lot. He had his own espresso machine for a while. He'd make espresso shots. Like he was big into it. But like he's one of those that he takes everything to the Japanese level.
Yeah, precision.
Like
and,
samurai
them-
Japanese
yeah,
level.
them-
Like if you're gonna do it,
you're going to master it.
you're gonna perform it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna do it correctly. And so like I love him to death, but like if they didn't force us to be together through work, we wouldn't be friends. Like that's how opposite we are.
Yeah.
But like he's like a brother to me now. But like he takes, if he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it correct.
Yeah.
He's the reason that I can't say demonstrative because it's properly pronounced demonstrative. I still don't care. It's demonstrative. But every time I say it, I'm like, dang it, Luke.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I can't. I'm the same way. Not exactly with a lot of like life stuff. Business wise, when I start something new, I'm going to know how to do it. You know, that's like, you know, our plasma table. I needed to do this one certain thing that I knew it would do. Yeah, it may have taken me 5 phone calls and reading, you know, God knows how many websites, but I figured it out. I need to know.
Yeah. But that's also part of if someone calls and says, can you custom fabricate this? Okay, well, I'm going to need these capabilities.
Oh, yeah.
My machine needs, it can do it. I need to make sure I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Where we at, Mama?
Long time?
Go for another 5 minutes and we'll make it 2.
2 episodes?
Yeah.
We'll just do 2 hours. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you're at an hour and 55 minutes.
Okay. Well, we can go for another 5 minutes. You let me know when we're at 2 hours.
All right. When I do this, that means 2 hours.
Oh, sweet. I
Yeah,
thought it
when
just
she
meant
flips
peace
you
sign.
off or throws something at you, you know.
She quit throwing things at me early in marriage because I just flat out told her. I'm like, that is not acceptable. You
Yeah.
have to quit throwing things at me. Because she had an accuracy for my nutsack.
Yeah.
Like, she could throw something when my back is facing her and somehow still hit me in a nutsack.
Yeah.
And just naturally. And it's like, please stop. I want more children.
I mean,
But now, see-
obviously, I didn't do any real damage.
Now, we got to rope Dylan into this. Now, we've been talking about relationships and stuff like that. How do you see it? I mean, do you want to?
Non-existent.
I mean, do you want to have that relationship?
Yes.
I mean, there's goods and bads in every relationship. But, you know, finding that long-term relationship. Now, granted, you're going to have to go through a few short terms that are probably going to leave some scars.
I've been
But-
I've been praying for your cheat codes for years, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll be all right, Dylan.
My cheat code.
But that's like,
We don't have cheat codes. We
yeah,
don't get
we were
lucky.
talking earlier, and or it's a couple of days ago or something. I asked him how old you were and stuff, and you know, if you had a relationship and something. He's like, no. He's like, he doesn't want one. I'm like, hell, I didn't either. So it's nothing new.
You
I
might
didn't
not have a
want
choice.
one. I didn't want one when I found one, but I found it. So, and honestly, you're gonna find it when you're not looking for it.
Mhm.
That's like me and my wife tried for years to have kids. We stopped trying. We had a kid.
You quit stressing it, and a lot of that to me is, even for non-faithful people, is putting faith in God. Is saying, hey, I'm going to quit worrying about this bull crap
Yeah.
and focus on what, like, my biggest thing that God tells me all the time that still pisses me off is quit stressing, do what I'm telling you to do. All this stuff we're going to do later on, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Just do what I've led you to do, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And when I
don't
do
listen-
that, things work out.
don't listen to society that says you need to have this by this.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, to this day, I've got a friend. He's probably pushing 40. He has no girlfriend, has no need for a girlfriend. He has his motorcycles. He has his career. Now, not a job, a career. He's an electrical engineer.
So he's fulfilled. And
He-
if you don't
and he
have that
has it-
desire, Paul says that in the Bible in the New Testament. I can't tell you where it's at. But he says, if you can be like me and, not burn in your passion, then be like me. But if you're going to burn in your passion, get married.
that's it. Yeah. I mean, he has his career. He has his motorcycles. He has his guns. He's fine. He doesn't care. Now, granted, he's had a lot of bad relationships that, has gotten him there. But, at this point, he's finally gotten old enough and smart enough to go, okay, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
But now nothing says he won't be 50 and find his person.
That's in 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
Can you read the actual verse
Look
for
at
me?
that.
I have to go
Yeah.
pull it
Miss
up.
She-
Google
she's
over
my
there.
Jamie.
Yeah. Miss Google over there.
He's become synonymous with Googling.
Yeah.
All right, it's kind of broken up. But it is good for them to remain single as I do. But if they cannot exercise self-control, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion. Married people are concerned about the things of the world, how to please their spouse, but the unmarried man is concerned about the things of the Lord, how to please the Lord.
Yeah.
That's chapter 7, verses 8 and 9, and then I read 33 through 34.
I mean, let's say, Dylan, you're what, 21? If you're content at 21 to not be with anybody right now, don't be. It's not even that big of a deal. I'm 43 now. Me and Jennifer have been together for 21 years.
You was as
Or
old
20.
as you was as old as I was when I had my 5th kid.
I know. See, but that's that whole delayed thing there. But, I got that far and I didn't care. Because at that time, I had what fulfilled me. I had my hobbies. I had my job. I had my money. I didn't care. I had...
You had respect and success in your own eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't care until she came along.
And then you said, hey, that is what I need
And that's
to
it.
finish me out.
That's it. 2 months in, I knew it. And now, Jennifer can tell you, 2 months in, I wrote on a calendar, met the girl that I'm going to marry. And it's been that way.
And that's the problem. Everybody's so busy. It's like when it's the reverse that happens to a lot of children. They're so worried about becoming one of their parents that was a horrible parent. Or they're so focused on about not making this mistake that this family member made or this friend made.
Yeah.
That they're so worried about becoming that person that they become that person because they sit there and that's all they think about. It's hard to run away from, like if you're trying to kick a habit. It's hard to run away from a habit that's in your face it's really hard to run away from a habit that's rolling around in your mind.
Yeah.
So like when you focus on the negative constantly, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. Okay, quit talking about that crap. Buddy of mine says it the best. Quit telling me what I can't do and start telling me what I can do.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about what I don't want to become, quit that crap. Start focusing on what you do want to become. Who is the people that do set examples for you? What do you want to be? Start thinking about that instead of what you don't want to be, and that's what'll be on your mind.
Yeah, stop worrying about the mistakes that your parents made bringing you up and start worrying about doing it the right way the second time.
You learn more from a bad supervisor or boss than you ever will from a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'll learn more about how not to treat people, and it'll stick with you. Someone's good to you, you don't really remember it. Someone's terrible to you when you go to do the same thing, like when you become a boss or you're over people, you start thinking, well, how did I feel? You start, the things in your head, I'm never going to treat somebody like that. That's the lessons that stick with you.
And a lot of times it's the little things. Let's say we go to the store or something. You're out with me. We're going to do something. I'm going to pay for it.
Yeah, and it still pisses me off.
Because that's just the way I am. Because you're not out there because you want to be. You're out there because you're with me. And so I'm going to pay for it. I may not have $10 in my account, but I'm going to pay for it because you're out there because you're with me. And coming back in life, you find that things are going to happen when they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And you can try to rush them along and meet the wrong person, or you can just sit back and wait because eventually the right one's going to come along.
And if they don't, you have to learn to be okay with that.
You have to learn to be content with what you have.
Yeah, because honestly, I think one of the biggest changes in me and Tasia's marriage over the years, besides us learning that it's supposed to be fun, like remembering, like, hey, marriage is just an agreement to date permanently.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So never lose that dating mentality, but also just to kind of learn that it is okay to be content with where you're at as a person.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be happy. You can't put your other person on a pedestal and make them your whole contentness. You're only content if they're this way. But you also can't be complacent in yourself or as a couple.
Yeah.
Like, you can be content and happy with where you're at, but always be looking for, what do I need to improve? What can we improve as a couple? If we do fight, okay, let's stop bickering like children. Let's start learning how to have an argument like an adult, which means, yes, we can fight, we can disagree, we can scream, we can yell, we can call each other bad names and everything else.
But yeah, let's try not to do those things.
Let's try not to do those things. But even if we do, at the end of it, let's have an actual communication. Because communication without understanding.
Yeah.
Because men and women speak completely different languages. So when me and you say something to each other, we understand each other a whole lot better as far as like actual understanding of what's communicated.
Yeah.
Me and her and you and Jennifer do not. Like when she comes to the shop and asks me questions and stuff, she's asking me because of how much she's talked to me about how I study people. And so she's wanting to know, well, when he says this, what's he mean? And it's hard for you to say anything else because it's like, well, I mean, I said exactly what I meant. You're just speaking a different language. So, like, we've had to understand that even if we fight, at the end of it, we have to have an understanding of what the other person was actually trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, you
benefit
benefit
from that. If you fight and one of you wins, you've both lost.
Yeah.
Like, you should win as a couple. You should have some understanding and some agreement. Okay. All right.
Well, we've gone over.
Yeah.
Long time.
Now, see, I could do this for days.
Same.
The problem is most people, there's a lot of young men that I've known over the years that could sit and be in an environment, not really talk much, but they weren't listening. I've watched Dylan long enough and seen his character enough to know that he sits and he's silent, but he's actually paying attention.
Oh, that's the way
and soaking it in.
Yeah.
He's listening and he'll come back and hit you with stuff, or you'll see him do stuff, and it's like, he's paying attention.
Yeah, a small group I can talk, but most of the time if I'm sitting in a room, I'm listening. And I can tell you everything going on in that room.
Now, see, Tasia's the opposite.
Depends. If you're not around, then I am paying a lot more attention. If you're around, then you're my safe, and I can zone out and focus.
She
and
is
not
a
focus.
feral warrior when I'm not around. If I'm with her, she's like the woman from that Bird Box movie. I've never seen the movie, but I could imagine. I could imagine if you put a blindfold over your eyes and just pretended the world didn't exist.
Yeah.
That's her. So what are you doing?
I was getting ready to pack up without stopping.
You
I'm tired.
turkey. All right. Well, we'll let Dylan wrap us up.
I guess.
Well, guys, appreciate watching the video.
Oh, sorry. Or listen to the podcast, whatever it's called. Oh, forgot about that.
Thanks. Like, subscribe,
Yeah, like,
enjoy.
subscribe.
Don't find somebody you do.
If you didn't like us,
Blame Dylan.
yeah, the guy who didn't talk. Bye.